Hi, virtual world. I'm Chris Pilcher. Follow us every week for new updates and to experience a part of Atlanta that you might not have seen. We're going to come together as a team and teach you how to be a player. What we have in store for the future is going to be mind-blowing. I'm really excited to collaborate with Stephanie and artistlifevision to bring you the story of the Downtown Players Club. Welcome to the library of the Downtown Players Club. Let's go over our timeline. Downtown Players Club is actually sort of second iteration of this sort of DIY space that I've been involved in. The first part started in, 2012? It was a space called The Manor. M-A-N-O-R. The Manor was awesome. It was a small basement space on Edgewood Avenue. It housed artists for 20 years. It used to be a punk rock club, it was a hippie commune, it was a sort of heavy metal hangout and venue space in the 80s. I got involved through a few other friends who brought me in, treated me like family. From there, we progressed to Downtown Players Club, which we will abbreviate here as DTPC. Downtown Players Club was part of the Goat Farm Beacons program. They helped us negotiate with our landlord, get into the space for a really low rent, and gave us some resources to clean the place up and make it something that could be used by the arts community as a creative incubation space. We've been here almost 2 years, and in that time we've served over 200 artists from around the world. We've had people from Hong Kong and Chicago. We've had artists from Australia and South Carolina. We're part of a DIY tour circuit, and we get contacted by emerging artists and underground bands from across the country. Downtown Players Club is also a resource center. We offer studio space for emerging working artists, a rehearsal space for the performance community, and low or no cost event space for all sorts of things. We may have a magic show one day and a hip hop show the next night. So unfortunately, our space is in danger. There are a number of things that need to be brought up to code, and it's sort of cost prohibitive as a young arts organization. Our entire neighborhood has also been purchased by developers, and we don't really know what the plans are for the future. So it leaves every organization on the street in a real state of uncertainty. And as you'll see when we take a walk outside, this street is thriving with art. We have artists from all over coming to join in on the fun. So what's our next step? Here you go. Midtown Players Club. Midtown Players Club is part of the Hambridge Creative Hive project at Colony Square in Midtown Atlanta. We're going to take over a 15,000 square foot former gym and turn it into the same thing we had here on South Broad Street. We're going to bring all sorts of performance art and visual art. Our goal with Midtown Players Club is to bring the same caliber of performance art, visual art, music, and experience that we've had in our South Downtown space to Midtown. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys something nobody ever sees. We're going to go out on the roof of the Downtown Players Club and check out the view of South Downtown. Hey virtual world, welcome to South Downtown. This is the historical heart of the city of Atlanta. We're right in the middle of where everything began. We're 2 blocks away from 5 Points train station, and if you take a look around, you can see we've got federal buildings, office buildings, residential space, and a lot of historical authenticity that doesn't really exist in much of the city any longer. What's really special about South Downtown, in my opinion, are the arts organizations that call the street below you home. When we get down to street level, we're going to check out my friends and colleagues, the Mammal Gallery, Murmur, iDrum, and Broad Street Visitor Center. They're all great conveyors of culture in the city of Atlanta, and they're really important, I think, to the future of our community. So you guys just take a second and enjoy this. Hey everybody, welcome to South Broad Street. I've got Stephanie and Remy here with me today. We're going to take a walk around the neighborhood. As you can see, there's a lot of activity going on, as is always the case here. So I'm going to show you my favorite spots and introduce you to some of the arts organizations. This street has a ton of diversity. We've got our 5 Points Islamic Center is here. It's been there for about 30 years. Most of the businesses in the neighborhood have been here either that long or longer.
I've seen it. I haven't seen it up close.
Yeah, that's the new rideshare program. You can hop on a bike, pay for it with your cell phone, and ride it on to the next station. It's the easiest way to get around town, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's great. I've been waiting for the city to put it in.
We were actually one of the first locations in the city to get the trial run of the rideshare program. Yeah, if you look around, you can see all these buildings most of them are 19th century.
Yeah.
A few of them are really early 20th century. Yeah, you'll see Hollywood just keeps it jammed up over here. Off in the distance here, directly in front of you, you can see the new Georgia Dome being built, the new football stadium.
That looks so incredible.
What's unfortunate about this area is for about 20, maybe 30 years now, it's been underdeveloped and mostly empty. Since people have started taking interest and arts organizations have started moving in, the buildings have been sold and are filling up really quick. Yeah, I mean, this neighborhood has a whole bunch of street art. We'll show you some more as we walk around. These just kind of popped up like 2 weeks ago. They're all pretty cool. It looks like this one says Battles. We've got Riser there to the left. Yeah. Yeah, there were some older sort of hollowed out throw-ups here. These kids came in the middle of the night and put up some pieces. So I applaud their effort and their artistic capabilities. This is where we might run into problems because they're doing the film shoot. So we'll see what's happening. We're totally still going to cut through.
I guess they didn't have a budget for the other opening.
And money is Robert Downey Jr. If our buddy's iDrum are open, maybe we can stop through.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is iDrum. iDrum is another one of the important arts organizations on our block. They occupy 5 buildings in a 19th century space. It looks like they're actually filming a movie here. It's normally not a German beer brothel.
Exactly. Yeah, they go crazy.
Daily prisoner transport. It happens every day at this time. It must be right around 3 o'clock. Over here to our left is the Martin Luther King Jr. Federal Building. It's one of the oldest federal buildings in town. I think except for maybe the Court of Appeals is older. I'm not sure, I'm no historian, I'm just an artist.
Like, wow, like,
That's to protect the people.
Yeah, all of these buildings used to be department stores. This was actually Atlanta's main shopping district. But as you can see, a lot of the buildings are empty. They've been that way for a very long time.
that's really awesome.
The neighborhood needs some improvements, but it needs responsible and sustainable improvements. So let's go over to my absolute favorite spot on the block. Maybe I even love it more than the Downtown Players Club. That's Mammal Gallery. This is Richard Miller's drugstore. It's an amazing place. It looks like a pharmacy from the outside, but it actually sells all sorts of spiritual goods and magic materials. You can get incense, crystals. Yeah, it's amazing. If you see the Run Devil Run sign, a musician by the name of Paul McCartney used that for his solo album. He came into town, he bought Run Devil Run, which is one of Miller's best potions. It inspired him to write an album, and he named the album Run Devil Run.
What's up, Patrick?
It's cute.
Oh yeah, that guy's been up there for about a year and a half now. This is the wall of kindness.
Okay.
If you need something, you take it, and if you have something, you give it. We try to keep it stocked up. Now that it's the summertime, there's not so much need for coats and blankets. Well, I guess it's still spring, right?
Yeah.
Feels like summer.
Yeah, it's gonna rain. There's a need for umbrellas.
This building was painted by a street artist named Hence. He's absolutely amazing. You can see his work all over the world, but Hence also got a start here in Atlanta. I hope our walk showed you a little bit about what our neighborhood's like. If you take a look around you, you can see how colorful and creative and diverse this neighborhood has become. South Downtown has always been a hub for the arts and creativity and a melting pot of many different cultures. And we really don't want that to change. Sometimes those things get taken out of your hands though. So what I think makes South Downtown really unique, and like I've said before, are the arts organizations that inhabit this neighborhood. Directly behind you is the Downtown Players Club, where you guys got a short tour and first met me. It's a 5-story building. We use it for performance art space, artist studios, gallery exhibits, and we open it up for discussions and workshops and rehearsals and whatever the community needs to use it for. Directly next door to that, to the right, is Murmur. Murmur is a DIY media space. They do a lot of community programming. They run a thing called Zine Fest. Zine Fest is really cool. Kids from all over the country come, bring their zines, set up. We have a huge market, and you can purchase self-published materials and self-made goods. A lot of it's really community and society oriented. To the left of Downtown Players Club, ironically enough where it says player, is the Broad Street Visitor Center. The Broad Street Visitor Center is a recording studio. My buddies Dan Bailey and Jared Pepper have spent the last 3 years building this unused space out into one of the most beautiful studios I've seen in Atlanta. And the amount of talent that's come out of there in the time that they've been operational is unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 360 video for Chris Filcher, who runs the Downtown
Dude, I live
Players Club
across the street.
Should I walk through or no?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
good.
oh yeah. Thanks for asking, man.
I thought we were about to get the cease and desist. So yeah, Broad Street Visitor Center is an amazing recording studio. So across the street from Broad Street Visitor Center, and you can't really see it too well from this vantage point, is the Mammal Gallery. The boys at Mammal Gallery really got the neighborhood going. They came in 3 years ago. Their space was nearly dilapidated. They put in a lot of hard work, sweat equity, and passion, and they built it into a world-class venue, in my opinion. They've gone from a DIY space to an institution. And if they weren't here, the rest of the neighborhood wouldn't exist either. Well, as far as arts and culture go, the neighborhood's always going to be here. South Broad Street's important to the future of Atlanta because of the arts organizations that call this place home and the talent and creativity that come out of them. At the Players Club alone, we served over 200 artists, and I imagine Mammal Gallery's done 3 times that many. These are artists that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to show their work, to explore their work, or in some cases to even create their work if these spaces weren't available for them. The things that happen in Atlanta have a ripple effect throughout the rest of the southeast of the United States. We're a major hub, and I believe our exports need to be as important as they can. So follow us every week for new updates and to experience a part of Atlanta that you might not have seen. We're going to come together as a team and teach you how to be a player.